Hello and welcome. So we are continuing the adventure of, well, adventures into. Hello and welcome. So we are continuing the adventures in Oblivion, and now we're going to go into this city, which is Chorrol, to join the Mages Guild. So now, these are all called guilds, but I don't really. My impression of medieval guilds is that these would not be called guilds. Guilds in the Middle Ages. Guilds were mostly about skilled crafts and fairly specific ones, and like so, Fighters Guild. Now fighting is not really like skilled craft. It is skilled, but it's not really craft. Now there would have been in things like in the later Middle Ages, as I believe there were. Let's see, what was it? Basically, fighter schools usually centered around some master or another. However, they weren't cooperative. Like you couldn't go from one to another, or they didn't necessarily recognize your mastery, and they didn't want you to go to multiples because the masters were very jealous of their secrets. It's their techniques. Mages Guild, I think, similarly.
Hello. I'm Castor Scribonia, the writer, author of Woman Gone Wild.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Good to see you. Greetings, citizen. Is there something I can do for you? Are you perhaps interested in joining the Mages Guild?
Join the Mages Guild.
Well then, it's no small matter. Membership in the guild is quite an honor, but also a responsibility. Do you wish to join the guild?
Yes, I want to join the guild.
Very well. You are now an associate of the Mages Guild. The full guild hall is now available for your use. You'll need a recommendation from each local guild hall in order to advance further. Until then, the Arcane University will be closed to you. Welcome to the guild, and good luck to you.
Recommendation?
I'm afraid I can't just write one out of hand. That would be against protocols, you see. If perhaps you can clear up a small matter involving Irana, you can prove your loyalty to the guild and earn my recommendation.
The nose looks flat.
She and I have an unpleasant history. She does not care for guild regulations and errantly believes I am misusing my powers. I have seen that she is in town. Though she has not approached me, I know she wants something. I would like you to find out what it is. Determine what she's after and how we may be rid of her. I do not want her here spreading her lies. Make haste.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm Athregard of the Mages Guild. How can I serve you? Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamriel. You too.
Now, Mages Guild, in some ways there might actually be some of their functions that do exist in would exist as actual guilds, namely enchanting, apothecary, and alchemy. And no, I mean, you might think, like to modern ears, oh, well, why would alchemy and the apothecary not be part of the same guild? Well, they are slightly different, and I believe like the guilds, like medieval guilds were actually kind of weird because they were also had a monopoly on that particular.
Hello. Hello there.
You.
Excuse me. My name is Angalmo. Can I help you? Let's do business.
Can I sell you things?
An excellent bargain. An excellent bargain. A good and
But so getting back to
tell your friends about me.
difference between like. But another thing that they would do is like they had like we'd have a iron buckle makers guild and then a brass buckle makers guild in the same city. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it just seems like, okay, they're both buckles, why do you need two different... It's like, two different guilds for that. It's like, well, yeah, but like different materials, so they just consider it to be something different. And, so, yeah, they probably would have different guilds for the apothecaries and the alchemists. Yes, but, let's see. Let's see what else. And I kind of feel like they might end up having something similar to the like fighter schools. Those for various schools of magic, based around a particular master of a particular kind of magic. Now, Thieves Guild and other lawless groups, I'm not sure that they would exist because that propensity in past ages to use torture to get information out of people. I feel like as soon as the first member was captured by the authorities, I kind of suspect that they'd get tortured and give up the names of all their accomplices. And then like the group would pretty much, well, either have to move, scatter, or get caught. So that would kind of do in like Thieves Guild. And like assassins groups. Otherwise, let's see, what other... Now, religious, like there's some religious factions you can join in. Yeah, I can see those being a thing. I think there is something about the, let's see, what was it? Sol Invictus, maybe? There was a kind of a cultic group in specifically in the Roman an army, in which you could like basically go to any chapter house and be recognized. Excuse me. Not lose your rank between the two different groups, but I kind of feel like they didn't do so much of the like, going out and fixing stuff, but well, I could be wrong about that.
What is it, associate?
Dude, I can take this stuff? Do 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 do. Don't mind me. Didn't actually want to start boom, but is the strike bull worth anything? That's approximately where it was. Cool. Can I... Oh, damn. Well, time to find some place to sell that stuff. Okay.
It's you. I am Alberic Litter of the Mages Guild. I am pleased to make your acquaintance. Goodbye.
Oh, it just occurred to me I can... Oops. 50 pounds worth of food. No, don't mind me. Hi.
I'm Contumeliorius Florius. I'm in charge of enchanted item recharge in the Mages Guild here in Coral. Get it? In charge.
Yes, very funny.
Always keep your magical equipment.
Okay, you don't actually have anything they want. Alright,
Greeting. Ah, yes, you are a guild mage, are you not? Yet different from the others. Yes, this is good. There's a small matter with which you may be able to assist. It's nothing worth involving your guild in, I assure you. Best if kept just between us, yes? So, what say you?
I'm interested?
Excellent. It's a simple task, really. All you need to do is fetch a book for me. The book is entitled Fingers of the Mountain. It is of no use to you. You won't be able to read it. I, however, can and would very much like to. You'll find it at an old ruin called Cloud Top. It's north of Coral, up in the mountains. I'm afraid I don't have an exact location. Return it to me immediately when you have it. Make no mention of it to Tychius or anyone else in your guild. I will make it well worth your effort.
I saw Remalis Briant walking his dogs today, and yesterday, and the day before.
Okay. Tychius, where are ya? Tiki. Down. Need to tell Tychius about this immediately, but I can't tell him about it immediately because everyone's asleep.
How do you do? How are you today? Not bad.
Good.
They say that the priests and priestesses of the Chapel of Dibella have all been murdered. No one even knows who did it.
Apparently, no one has any idea who did it.
Alright, well, I am going to wait until 7:30 a.m. and hope that at this point Tychius will be up and about. Alright.
Hi there.
Where's Tychius?
It's you. Hi.
Yes, it is me. You got a problem with that? Tychius. just steal all the food. And also all the silverware. And I'm now very drunk too. Hi.
Yes?
Fingers of the mountain.
What? Not only does it exist, but she knows where it is? Well, this is unacceptable. That book needs to be in the safekeeping of the guild. I trust that as a member of the guild, you would do the right thing and acquire this text before Irana does. Are we clear? Ignore her request. Go to this place she has described and return with the book. This is far more important than any petty squabble.
Yes, of course. I will be very loyal to you, whom I just joined yesterday.
I wish to be rid of Irana as soon as possible.
Okay, so I need to... That is actually showing me where to go for this. I need to go to the north. Okay, so, while attempting to find this place... Oh wait. I just remembered I was going to sell a bunch of stuff. Hello, Kaji. Oh, you're an Argonian. But, so I was going to talk about a bit about religion. So I feel like it would be different in this place. Because... Wow, that was a high jump. Like... Name of this world, it's a lot...
Only the finest wares to buy and barter at Northern Goods and Trades. I'm Cedneus, the proprietor. How can I help you? All I heard is that she's looking for some sort of book. You'll have to talk to her if you want to know more. Have a look around. You won't find better prices in all Tamria. And... that's a... You drive a hard... You got... Ah,
Okay, I think that's everything I particularly want to sell.
that seems a fair price. Thank you for your patronage.
So,
Good day.
feels like religion would be different because it's like unlike like this world, it's provable. I mean, magic is definitely a thing in this setting. Magic and miracles are definitely a thing. There's no like bit of like, oh, you need healing, so go to this place and pray, and then you'll you know, over the coming days, you will get your answer in the form of like either getting better or not. But in a way that, broadly speaking, resembles like the natural course of the disease. No, you go up to the altar, you make your offering, and immediately you are healed. No. No questions about it. But, so, I feel like that would be a rather large difference. And I feel like skepticism and, well, atheism, I feel like, wouldn't really exist. Skepticism would also be difficult, given as it's provable. You more or less, you do the thing, provable, testable. You more or less, you do the thing, and it happens. But and that's not counting the the deities where you can just go see them. Like they're all the ones where you don't see them, but you go to their altar, you offer them a thing, and it happens. You get the benefit. There's some places where these deities where you can just go see them. Thinking like the Daedric Princes or the Tribunal. Well, it might not be the easiest thing to just go see them, but you can do it. So, the skepticism might be in the way of like, okay, yes, the effects are there, but it's more a question of what the nature of it is, whether or not this is just something that happens, and we just happen to be attributing this to a particular entity, which may or may not have anything to do with it, and you could also potentially accuse the deities that you can go visit as, claiming that they are responsible for this without actually being responsible for it. Something like that. Let's see. And it also seems like if you get like an actual tangible benefit from, not tangible, an immediate benefit from particular deities, like you would probably end up worshipping them as you needed. Like, might be a thing of like all the farmers worship an agricultural deity because they're farmers. They need the benefits that offers. Like, stuff like that. And then there's, let's see, and honestly, priesthood could be a lot more of a vocation rather than a calling in this, and your deity is just sort of a particularly powerful boss you have, who has, more than just the powers over, like, whether or not you get money and whether or not you continue to work there. It's and also, I don't think our world's religions would fare very well in this setting. They might need to, like, basically attach themselves to an existing religion or an existing phenomena. But so I feel like Taoism, at least as far as I understand it, might be the one most able to do that with the fewest changes, at least as I understand it. It'd more or less be equating magic with the Tao, but I'm not entirely certain about that. Anyway, speaking of healing, wow, this is a lot farther than I thought it would be. There's kind of a question as to how exactly healing works, because not all injuries are made the same. You can have, let's see, like bruises and small cuts, relatively simple, just basically accelerating the natural healing process. But you can also have like larger cuts. You might need to enhance. Oh my. That's okay. That's interesting. But I also have, because I'm thinking of like ones that wouldn't heal on their own naturally, so like where the sides of the wound do not match up, where you basically need to, healing would basically need to like bring them back together and close it. There's also like issue with bones. Like, okay, so like fractures can be particularly bad if they aren't like the bone pieces aren't lined up well. So with the healing also like snap the bone back where it's supposed to be. Like if you have like an amputation or the loss of a part of the body, could it cause that to grow back potentially? And let's see, there's also the question of like non-traumatic damage. I'm thinking like damage, tissues caused by disease. Could that also be healed as well, causing the body to regenerate in various ways? I will see if I can find this cave here. But let's see. And also a question of like, okay, scarring. Would magical healing also produce scarring? Or would it like be completely restored to the way it was before? Or the injury happened. It also can get into the question of curing disease, because even more so than injuries, diseases are not all one thing. I mean, like, probably the very simplest of things to cure would be like exoparasites, parasites which do not actually enter the body but live on it. Those could effectively just be, killed, and that gotten rid of that way. But you have something can see me. Just killing them, like parasites within the body, endoparasites, just killing them could result in their bodies, their bodies would still be in your body and potentially start rotting, and that could cause its own sort of illness. And something of like bacteria and fungi, protists. There are various other things that would be similar to the endoparasites, in that, yeah, sure, you can kill them, but then you have all these dead organisms in your body, which could potentially end up poisoning you. Particularly, there are bacteria which... This tree is stumpless. I'm stumped. But, yeah, there are certain bacteria which have endotoxins, which they release upon death, so that could cause some problems. So, yeah, you kill all the bacteria in the body, all the pathogenic bacteria in the body, and suddenly you have the issue of, okay, they suddenly all release their toxins at the same time, and I feel like toxins is kind of more a thing of pure poison rather than curing disease.
The Fighters Guild is recruiting again. Not a bad way to make some money, if you've got the stones for it. Go on. I heard that someone saw the ghost of Lord Grindrel along the road.
Viruses are another interesting matter, because they're not...
What is it, associate?
Not alive, and they're also not really dead. They're only questionably alive. And retroviruses can be another big issue, because those actually insert their DNA into yours.
What is it, associate?
So basically, the cure disease, in order to actually get rid of it fully, would have to basically rewrite your DNA, snip those sections out, and destroy them.
Go ahead, please. You found the book. My trust in you was well placed, it seems. Hand it over, if you please. Ah, yes, this is indeed the correct book. You've not been able to open it, I presume. Then all is well. You have shown yourself worthy of the guild, and for that I thank you. You shall have the recommendation you need. Now, I must ensure this book is kept safe. Excuse me.
Okay. But, let's see. Continuing on, there's the question of prions, which are... Here, you have numerous proteins in your body, and however frequently they can there are multiple ways in which they can be folded, and not all of them are fully functional. And this can be a bit of a... And prions are basically misfolded proteins. Not only are they misfolded, they also cause any other proteins of the same... Because proteins are a sequence of amino acids, any others of the same sequence to misfold in the same way and become useless, and these build up over time and cause those issues. And so, okay, curing a prion disease. Would that involve folding all the misfolded proteins back into the right way? Because, I mean, that would leave you with a lot of those proteins. And and that could also be an issue. Okay, little flower. Let's see, and then there's also a question of, okay, things like cancer. Which have like a genetic component to them. Would cure cancer also, fix all the genetics, or just... I mean, just fixing the cells would still leave you with a mass of cells that you don't really need. In place, you don't really need them. Killing them would, again, much like parasites, leave you with a potentially rotting body you need to deal with. And removing it would leave, potentially leave, just a cavity in your body. Let's see. And then there's also the question of autoimmune diseases. Which... Okay, so it's more or less a thing of your body attacking itself, or particularly specific, referred to as antigens. Antigens is basically anything that an antibody will attack. So the... Where was I? So the question, okay, do you remove the antigens? Or do you deprogram the entire your immune system to stop attacking it? Which, I mean, could leave you with a bunch of, like, specialized, well, formerly specialized, these white blood cells, although suddenly don't have a job, but let's see. It's also the question of, like, diseases that are more... One other thing with autoimmune diseases. Could it fix... there's the condition called the hemolytic disease of the fetus and newborn, which is basically a condition in which the mother's immune system is attacking her fetus's body. Which I'm sure you can appreciate is a bit of a problem. And that would... I mean, again, it would basically involve... To actually fix it would probably involve deprogramming the immune system. However, it would... Oh, I have to go through there. Alright. Immune system and would... Well, as I understand how it works, is that in some cases you basically have to cast it, like, every pregnancy, because it's a matter of mother's immune system reacting to blood type that she doesn't have and the fetus does. So if she has another fetus with a different blood type, it's just gonna end up having that reaction again. But then we get down to deficiency diseases, is like scurvy, which it's an issue of not the presence of something, but the lack of it. I mean, the flip side of that is diseases of excess. It's like, I think there are a number of vitamins where if you get too much of it, it's a problem. But, I mean, those relatively just remove a bunch of it. I mean, you still have to have the patient stop intaking so much, but who can see me? Oh, it's a wolf. Can I... Whee! But... issue with, like, scurvy and rickets and things like that, it's like, okay, the issue is that you don't have something you need. Would cure disease suddenly supply a bunch of it? And, it's not going to fix it permanently, because in order to do that, you need to increase your uptake of whatever it is you're missing. And, I mean, that can be an issue, because there are some conditions which can mean that you just don't uptake enough of it. In that case, you probably have to reprogram your body such that it will actually take in the nutrient that it needs. As opposed to the normal case, its normal case, in which it does not intake that. There are also, like, questions where there are diseases which are secondary to another condition. Like liver damage can cause a number of conditions. Conditions because the liver produces a number of enzymes, things, and then suddenly you have this other effect of it.
What's that?
What? So that'd be a thing where, okay, does it just fix the symptoms, or does it also fix the root cause of the problem? What am I sneaking? I'm guessing probably maybe that bandit, but they feel they're pretty far away, so I'm not sure I would be sneaking by them. And also a question of kind of lifestyle diseases. That might just be a thing where you might end up like having to like, have it cast on you multiple times because you just keep smoking or keep drinking and you're not really changing your ways. You're just going to keep having that issue. And, besides that, there's also the issue that a lot of what we think of as being diseases is not so much what the disease itself does, but what the body is doing to itself in an attempt to get rid of the disease. Like things like fever, there's I don't think there's any disease which directly causes fever. That's the body raising the temperature in an attempt to cause problems for the disease. So could have a thing of the body, like, cure disease functionally needs to also calm the body down, so it's not, fundamentally freaking out about what's going on. It is also kind of a thing of autoimmune diseases, but so, I mean, if you just get rid of the cause of the disease, your immune system's going to take a few days to get done with that, and that's going to seem like cure disease didn't exactly work. And then there's also a thing of there can be actual damage from either what the body is doing, or sometimes what the pathogen itself has done. And would cure disease also fix that? Like, let's see, if one of the hepatitis viruses and that damages your liver, would cure disease also fix that? Like, various parasites can cause, like, scarring, and like if you like have like a cyst is removed or something. Or a tumor, for that matter. And then you have like the damage to the tissue there, scarring. It's like, okay, would cure disease also fix that? It seems more like a healing thing. Let's see. And there's also kind of a question as to whether or not the whether or not diseases might, for instance, start developing, magic resistance. Because, I mean, the only ones that would be able to continue to infect people would be those that can not, they can, like, resist being removed. And if you're using magic to remove them, the ones that stick around are going to be the ones that aren't bothered by, how galling. And also a question like, okay, where exactly do dental issues fall in this? I mean, you lose a tooth? Is that something that, heal wounds would fix? And there is, I suppose, get back to the bacteria, is that we have a lot of natural flora basically everywhere, and some diseases are basically an issue of natural flora being out of balance. So what does cure disease do in that case? I mean, entirely wiping it out would not necessarily be healthy, because as under normal circumstances, the what is pathogenic at that point is perfectly healthy for the individual. It's just it's not in balance. So, okay, do you reduce it to a point where the others can then grow to an extent to balance it out? Or perhaps reduce it to its normal level and increase the levels of the other things so it keeps it in check? Or, just fix the causative issue, which I mean, might not put everything back in balance. Oh, cool. Another thing is this. I feel like this have some very distinct effects on the world, and possibly far-reaching enough that it might be difficult to imagine what exactly the world would be like in this case, but I feel like there'd be definite disparities between the urban rich and the rural poor. That'd be the greatest difference. I mean, there would be other differences as just between rich and poor and urban and rural. Well, because in cities, they're probably far more likely to have mages around who can cast the spells, and also temples around where you can make offerings. And again, if you're rich, you can afford those offerings. You can afford to hire the mage. If you're poor, you can't so much. So it might, like, even more so than this world, health issues and disease might be seen as being more of an issue of poverty and rurality, if that's a word at all. The idea that there could be basically charitable organizations dedicated to providing, healing and curing, like magical healing and curing to the less fortunate. I mean, I feel like that could definitely be a thing. Yeah, there's also a thing, like, given how, well, depending on how easily accessible magic is, and like, in this setting, it's, wow. I very quietly broke both my legs. What? What is attacking me? There it is. Get back here. What? I dislike this brush. But yeah, magic being this easy, I think it would probably impact the world in ways that we might not be able to even conceive of at this point. It's just... that's one thing I dislike about this game, I guess, is the how the brush can conceal what's attacking you. I mean, that might be realistic, but it's also kind of annoying. Like, oh, hey. Oh, that was just a brazier. Okay. I think that's the end of my rants on this for now. I will get myself back to the road and I think call it a night. Or at least the end of this session. And here we are, back on the road. Good. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching. Do new things with YouTube's buttons, and have a nice day.